If we want to drop any rows or columns from a data frame using specified labels, we use the DataFrame drop method. We can do this either by specifying the label names and the corresponding axis, or by specifying directly the index and column names. In the case of a multi-index, we can also remove labels on different levels by specifying the level. The first parameter of the drop method is labels. Labels will be a list containing all the labels that are used for deleting the rows and columns we're interested in. The second parameter is the axis, which is 0 for index and 1 for columns. By default, it's set to 0. The axis parameter is used in conjunction with the labels parameter and specifies whether the labels will be used to drop either rows from the index or columns from the columns. We can also delete rows from the index using the index parameter by specifying a list of labels that we want to use for the deletion. This is an alternative to using the labels parameter and the axis parameter set to 0. The columns parameter can be used when we want to delete a set of columns. The columns parameter will be list-like and offers an alternative to using the labels parameter with the axis parameter set to 1. The level parameter is used in the case of a multi-index and specifies the level from which the labels will be removed. The inPlace parameter specifies whether we should do the operation in place in the current data frame, case in which the drop method will return none. By default, the inPlace parameter is set to false, in which case the drop method will return a copy. The errors parameter can be set to either ignore or raise. By default, it's set to raise, in which case an error would be raised if we're trying to delete missing labels. If it's set to ignore, then the error will be suppressed and only existing labels will be dropped. The drop method returns either a data frame or none, depending on whether the inPlace parameter is set to either false or true, respectively. Let's see a few examples. First, we create a data frame with 3 rows of random data and 4 columns labeled A, B, C, D. We can drop the columns B and C by simply calling the drop method on the data frame with the labels parameter as a list containing the 2 columns B and C and with the axis parameter set to 1. We can also perform the same operation by just passing the columns parameter set once again to the list containing B and C. In this case, we don't need to specify the axis. We can drop the first 2 rows by simply passing a list containing 0 and 1 to the drop method. We don't need to specify the axis since it's set by default to 0. To showcase using the drop method in the case of a multi-index, we first define our multi-index containing 2 levels. On the first level, you have 3 types of animals: a llama, a cow, a falcon. And on the second level, you have 3 characteristics for each animal on the first level, that is speed, weight, and length. We populate the data frame using our multi-index with data. We first showcase how to drop a specific combination of labels from the index. In this case, the weight attribute for a falcon, which will delete 1 row from our data frame. We also showcase deleting an entire set of rows in the index by specifying the cow label, as well as the small column. Finally, we showcase how we delete the length attribute on level 1 for all the animals. If you found this video series useful, please don't hesitate to hit that like button. It will really help me a lot. If you want to stay up to date with my future videos, please subscribe to the channel so you can get notified whenever I release new videos. Thank you.